Spain.
Okay, so, and we do time boxing, so we give you a 2-minute warning at the end of the pitch.
So, hi everyone and welcome to our presentation. As you have already mentioned, we are Drukka Dgitals and we came from Budapest just to work on this challenge. So, let's get to our thing. So we came up with an app called CanCell, which is a global cancer management app, and in the app you can track the different symptoms and the side effects, and you can also visualize treatment sessions as a patient, and you get it in a very user-friendly way. And lastly, it is very important for us that you are supported by the community. So yeah, we came from Budapest, but I think for all of us it is a very personal challenge because we have friends and family members who suffer from cancer, and many times they were struggling a lot with data management and documents while they try to fight for their lives. So we see that it was a big problem. However, it is also a bigger one since I'm so surprised, but last year 17 million new cancer cases were discovered, which is a lot. And this number is expected to grow by 62%, which is a lot. So I think we really have to work together on this problem to come up with a solution. And as Susanna mentioned, right now there isn't an overarching thing. So we try to work into that direction. And in order to get a solution, first we wanted to get a little bit more knowledge about our personas. I mean, we know that it's the cancer patient, however, we wanted to understand the goals, the background, the different motivations, frustrations, and also fears and skills, just to see how people work. And based on that, we came to the conclusion that for the patient, in this case, patient Peter, we can provide many benefits. For example, he can track his symptoms in the app, and after the treatment, he can also look for the side effects. And he can put all of this into the diary, and then he can focus on his recovery process. And he also gets a lot of help because he can see every treatment session in a nice calendar format, so it is quite easy to look through. And then he can also be part of the community, and he can find and he can share important information and also life hacks, so that can improve life quality and also motivation. And as I mentioned before, we use a user-friendly approach, but I will talk about that later. But we discovered that the patient is not only our customer or user. We wanted to do something for the doctors, and in this case we came up with a persona called oncologist Oliver, and he's a doctor and he's really committed to help people and so they can get better. So we also wanted to help his work, and we came up with a platform for him. You can see that later. And in the platform, he can easily access all the information about the patients and view the medical documents and the results and get this information quickly. But of course, data security is very important for us. So he can only do it if the patient said that yes, the doctor can check all of my documents. And if the patient agrees, then he can also get insights for research. So I think let's jump into the demo part. We created an app for iOS that can be used by the patient, and then we also did the web for the doctors. So we'll start with the screen for the patient. And I can also show it to you because it is supposed to work right now. So I will just come here. So the first thing is that you have to sign up. So it's working, you can put your email address here. And then a very long password. It's 10 characters. It takes time. And then you can easily sign up. And on the next screen, yes, thank you, that's good. first, you can put your nickname, because we think that the patients, they want to use this app quite often, and then they want to use something personal, not their full name, so you can also set these nicknames. And then you can add your finger. And then you must add, or you can also skip it, but you can add a few details about yourself. So you can just keep track of all the things. The first is your birthday. And it is quite easy, you only have to scroll, you don't have to write anything here. And then gender, and then your height. And then also your weight. And once you are done, you should just like tell them a little bit more about your condition. So you can just look for the type of cancer you're having. You can also search here. And then you can also choose the stage. So it is personalized. And then there is a screen where you can just decide if you want to share your data anonymously for research or for different purposes. You can choose it, but you can also say no. And then it is protected. That's also on the next screen. And then you can start using the app. Sorry. And now you have the profiles. It's working. Good. That's a big relief. So when you go to your profile, first you will see information about yourself based on the onboarding process. So you can see name, nickname, age, gender, etc. And if you go back, you have one place for the medical document, where you can also add a new medical document, which can be a result of this test or anything else really. And then you can go into your log history, which is where you can see all the data you put. Oh, it's fine. All the data. So yeah, this one. And at the beginning, it's all about your weight, because that's the first thing you could see. Exactly. And then, let's go to the diary part, please. So we called our diary the quick log. And if you click on it, you can choose between different things. You can also just touch it. And if you click on the first one, which is the yes, you can just change your body temperature accordingly. And then if you click on the data, it should be working, and then we can see it later. And then you can also input other information, for example, your weight and also the meals you are eating based on the recommendations of your nutritionist, and your mood and your pain level as well. And if you say that you are done and go back to the log history, you can see that you change your body temperature. And that's the things we have developed for the app, but we also have some other ideas. So the patients could be able to see a calendar, and in the calendar they can find the day of their treatment, or when they have to go to consult a doctor. So it's quite a good overview. And then there's also the community part, where you get recommendations, and you can also get life hacks. And all of these it is very similar to GitHub. So you can upload things, and you can also just get verified by a doctor, and you can also get very good reputation. So it always should be accepted by a doctor, so we consider it to be safe and be free of bullshit, basically. Sorry. And then you can also share some ideas about development if you have some. So let's go to the admin page for doctors. Yeah. Oop. I can also show it to you. Oh no, I don't want to change it. Okay. I mean, you can see there the screens, and I just do it live, so it's basically the same. So, of course, you can log in as a doctor. Okay. It's quite slow, but you can log in, and then, yes, you can see a feed where you can get all the information about your patients if they agree. And then you can go to My Patient, where you can just go to the profile and see the information. So that's what you can do right now. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we use quite a user-centered approach because we know that the patients, they have to struggle with many things. For example, depression or pain as well. So we use quite bright colors and a simple onboarding process and maybe visual and motoric effort. And we think that it is a simple but quite useful solution. And for the doctors, we also wanted to give a clear and transparent solution which is easy to understand and it is easy to get a quick overview. Regarding the business model, I think we should all agree that it should be free both for the patients and for the doctors. However, of course, someone should sponsor the development or further developments that could be done by governments or foundations or different. Yeah, so this is our last slide. This is about future development. We know that it should be very important that we can just continue working on it. So we created an open source application that can be expanded and you can just use different data sources to add features and you can just come up with new apps. And you can also use AI to discover the patterns. And you can find everything what we did here. And thank you very much for your attention. And yeah, just give us your input.
First question from the jury.
First of all, thank you. I really like how you prepared it. And I really like the design of the app because it looks bright and nice and I'd like to use it. And it's really easy to use. So this is my first. Like I really like it, and I also really like the approach that it's not only patient side but also the doctor side because this will improve the connection between doctor and patient.
Thank you.
So also from my side, thank you. From the technical side, I find it quite impressive that you have a working client, working doctors interface, and probably some backend which serves the data. So nicely done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's why I wanted to go first because now it's very fun.
Yeah.
Yes?
Regarding you said that you want to also give the opportunity to share your patient data for science purposes. How would that work? Like, can scientists just like enter anonymous like data from a portal or something like that, or like how would that?
Yeah, it's definitely anonymous, and as a patient, you can decide at the beginning if you want to do it. If you want to share your data for research purposes or with companies, so you can just control it. Yeah, but regarding the technical aspects.
Yeah, so as a researcher, like you could say, or you could search for anonymous data, or as a developer, you could develop applications on the anonymous data available on in our database.
Does this mean that if I said yes for the research, is this then by default and I'm always sending my data?
No, you can get reminders and you can choose the specific research, so you get a lot of control.
Okay, so it's not that I say yes, and then from this, in the future, I will always send my data.
No, you can always modify that and choose it.
But how do you make sure that I don't like enter as a company and say I'm a scientist and I only say like I only want to share this for science purposes? Like how do you make sure that if I say I only want to keep it for a certain domain, and that like this like that?
Sorry, we were just discussing it. Yeah, but then you can just do it at the beginning, and then I think the IT guys can do it. Like,
Right.
there are proper tactics to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a public API, so we don't access tokens.
Okay.
I I have a question regarding the community. You said like you want to control what's going to be posted on the community? Or
What we think that people can just insert their ideas, but then it should be reviewed by a doctor or someone in that sector, because we don't want to just to have false information circling around. So that's why you get kind of a quality check to make sure that there is nothing. But we also think that the people who are going to use this app, they have the best intention, and they will also, if they are patient, they don't try to put false data into that. But of course, you get the external.
I really like your name.
That was him.
And a question also attaching to Alex's question. Has there been some preliminary, like pre-work you already did before, or did you work with preset components, open source components, or did you just everything was built on this weekend?
we have talked with cancer patients.
Yeah, what we did, we did two interviews before.
Okay, that is fine. That
Yeah,
is,
but we haven't done anything. So,
Okay.
like after we did the kickoff session, we did the brainstorming about the functions, and then we did the information architecture. So it's from scratch.
You should check out commit logs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can show it to you.
Chapeau.
very good work.
I have one more question regarding the organization of the documents. Is there a way I can choose how I want to organize them, or?
Yeah, of course. Like, I think at the beginning it's organized by the date, but then it would be ideal as further development if you could just get different folders for the and then you could just sort it and filter it.
Daniel.
I have a question, and also regarding the matter that there should be implementation for other features that you might not have thought about yet. Maybe I didn't really get it in the presentation, but is there a feature where other developers can implement new features?
We have a public API,
Okay.
which has a documentation, online documentation in Swagger.
But is there like an in-app store thing, or in-app module store?
No, we didn't do that. We
Okay.
did the other thing. So if you want to contribute, you can just use this. And you can also get different data sources. So for example, when you do the sleep tracking, you could just use the Apple app or Fitbit.
Yeah.
rather
But
than
I think the question that he's also referring to is if somebody really finds your approach really awesome and wants to contribute, he push and then it's in the app, or how is it done?
No, we have to approve it.
Approve
They
it.
can send pull requests to us and we can approve it after review.
Okay. Okay. Questions from the audience?
Yep.
How big was it?
It was
Six.
6. Yes.
Did you have fun?
How many beers? No.
How many beers did you drink?
Not too much, but we drank all the Fritz cola.
What was the most difficult challenge during the weekend, and how did you solve it?
I would say that it was hard to prioritize which features that we should really make and which features we should only talk about.
How did you solve it?
We brainstormed.
What is your future plans after this hackathon? This is also really important.
Yeah, that's a very good question, but I think we just want to work on it if we can, because this is a very important topic, and then, yeah, I think what we created is like, I think that it is quite nice and quite useful, so we just don't want to throw it out. Yeah.
Really good answer. This question we will discuss after we presented the winner. We will be here, have a get-together, and we will discuss and how it further continues. And also remember that it will be continuing on the 7th of November, and we try to make it as virtual accessible as possible for you guys as well, for everyone who wants to join. There was a question here.
Yeah.
You said this is iOS app.
Yes.
Is it difficult to port to Android?
You just didn't bring Android
Yeah.
developer with us.
Yeah, but if we want to go to the market, then we will definitely have Android as well.
Okay, so I think we have time for one more question.
So maybe what are the different technologies you have used other than an iOS native app?
For iOS, we build a native iOS in Swift.
Yes.
Sorry.
And for the backend?
Yeah, sorry. For backend, we use Swagger with Node.js, and for frontend, the Doctor's web is React Appeal.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. So, we have drinks here.